Hey guys, Stealth here, and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, where I have a new challenge created by Vasily Danilov in the previous video. It was the most upvoted comment, so let's have a look at what he wants me to do. I have a battle idea I'd like to submit, he writes. UK, 1932, so the end of the battleship holiday. It was a period in which no battleships were built, versus Germany in 1936, which is the year that the Bismarck was laid down. 5 versus 4 battleships and 8 destroyers on each side, but all of your battleships must follow the limitations of the Washington Naval Treaty and have maximum range. So that's a very interesting set of limitations. In case you don't know about the Washington Naval Treaty, capital ships, so battleships and battlecruisers, were limited to 35,000 tons standard displacement and guns of no larger than the 16-inch caliber. So I will not be able to put 18-inch guns on 1932 battleships. Now I am also going to have to do a little bit of self-control because I was playing around with the editor before I started recording the video, and I noticed that I already have access to radar, which I think is wrong, because from what I've been reading, the first radars were introduced, let's say, 1935 onwards. So if the German battleships have it, then by all means. They start in 1936, so I guess that they would have access to it. But the Brits in 1932? I don't know. Anyway, I have a maximum displacement per battleship of 35,000 tons. If I slide this all the way down for the Dreadnought 4, I'm already looking at 46,000. Dread 3? 36. It's too heavy. So I'm going to have to go with the Dreadnought 2 hull and slide that down to 35,000. That's what I can use. Range, maximum. So the very long operating range, which for custom battles is not really required, but considering the scenario, I suppose it makes sense. Because the British would have an expeditionary fleet, consisting, let's say, of a couple of battleships, which, considering they are an expeditionary force, would require very long range. Let's go for many bulkheads. And then engine-wise, I think a couple of gear turbines, semi-oil, forced boilers, and I'm not going to install an auxiliary engine or a propeller shaft just yet. What I will do is upgrade to Crib 4. Ammo detonation is a very real risk if I'm fighting enemy battleships. Let's go with heavy barbette thickness, barbette 3. Torpedoes could also be a problem. These, however, add quite a bit of displacement to your ship, and the more you add, the more this goes up. That was 4,000 tons displacement just on torpedo protection. Torpedo damage is reduced by 65% though. But let's say that the British in 1932 didn't consider torpedoes to be that much of an issue and go with torpedo 3. I'll go with a double bottom hull, because it's also going to add more resistance, and meaning that the German shells are not going to hit that hard. Reinforced bulkheads and watertight doors. I think this would be standard on battleships, or rather, it should be. And anti-flooding 2. And finally the Citadel. What would they have? 1932. Do they have turtlebacks, or the all or nothing? I'm sure you guys in the comments would know. I'm going to go with the turtleback armor. And now it's time to actually start designing the ship itself. I have access to the Advanced Tower 12. Jeez, that takes up a lot of room though. The 11 is slightly better. Now before you guys all start clamoring for a Nelson-class warship, I would love to. For those of you unfamiliar with the Nelsons, it had 3 triple turrets in the bow, and the main tower pretty far astern. It had almost no guns on the stern. But unfortunately, that's not quite possible, because I can only fit 1 slot for a barbette on the bow. And I would actually need more. Unless I try to fit it in and have a really, really small main tower. That's not going to fit. It's just not going to fit. Alright, let's go with an Advanced Tower 11, because it's not the biggest thing. And keep in mind that I am not allowed to use guns larger than 16-inch, but I'm also limited by having a big superimposed barbette, which, as I have found, simply does not support a 16-inch turret. it does not support a 15-inch turret. It only supports 14-inch turrets and smaller. Let's go with a 14-inch double barrel. And then hopefully I can add another one on the stern. Here-ish. So let's have another secondary tower. And then add 2 more centerline 14-inch guns. One there. Aft weight offset could be a real concern at this point. Guess I'm gonna have to drag this turret a little further forward. Was this the most forward Barbette slot? Yeah, it was. Okay, so I cannot really steal any more weight from there. 4 weight offset 0.5%. That's something I can live with. Alright, black powder. I have no idea what the UK would use in this period. High TNT is available, but for 1932, with battleships that might not actually be designed or /launched in 1932, I think high TNT is a bit over the top. So let's go for TNT standard. Radar, I'm not going to go with it, as explained. Rangefinder, let's go for stereoscopic 4, because I think these two just simply should not be available yet. Radio, improved radio telegraph. No torpedoes. I might add a couple of secondary guns, though. I think are there casemates? Oh yeah, there are a couple of casemate slots over here. But their field of fire is pretty bad. Okay, can I fit a couple of, let's say, 5-inch on the flanks? I need something that can keep those enemy destroyers at range. This is 29% at 5,000 meters, but can I fit that? Because those are, no. Those are generally really big turrets. The 6, no, maybe the 7s? I can add 1 7 and another 7 there. Oh, and I need a funnel. Let me add that before I try to finish the ship off without having a funnel or two. Okay. Their field of fire is actually not too bad. At 5,000 meter range, they have an accuracy of 25%. Oh, and there's something else I need to do. Let's go for semi-auto loaders, because I think full auto loaders would not be available in 1932. And hydraulic turrets, let's say advanced hydraulics. I might be artificially limiting myself here, but I just don't exactly know what they would have. Now, that tech really pushed me quite close to my limitations for displacement. I'm going to count on my own destroyers to try and keep the enemy destroyers at bay, since it's 8 versus 8. And that means that the rest of my displacement is going to throw... Well, I'm going to throw it into armor. Conning tower is 11-inch, plus 110%. Turret top. Not sure how required that's going to be, but we're starting about 15,000 meters, which could mean plunging fire. Which could mean destroyed turrets very soon. Oh, shit. Doesn't fit. Nope. $11.5-inch conning tower armor. Yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. Okay, did I get everything right? Barbette 3, anti-torp 3, double hull, reinforced bulkheads, anti-flood, citadel. Right. I would love to fit in one of these, but it's just going to push everything over the top. So I guess this is the battleship. Name, Thunderer. It carries 8 14-inch guns and 4 7-inch guns. These are mostly to keep smaller ships at, at a distance. And hopefully with enough firepower, especially focused fire from my battleships against one of the German battleships, we can sink those guys. Because they do have potentially better tech, better guns, but fewer numbers. There's only 4 of them. Alright, who's the lead ship here? Hannibal. We got the Hannibal, the Victorious, the Zeelandia, the Thunderer, and the Rodney. And they are all opening up on the Germans, which are actually heading the other way. Curious. Based on visual identification, I couldn't tell you what sort of armament these things have. Could be 16 or greater, I don't know. Now, I intentionally went with the UK fleet to make sure that I can dictate what sort of armament they have, because I have to live up to the Naval Treaty. But I imagine that Germany, in this time frame, might have already ditched it. Now, the destroyers are armed with 21-inch torpedoes at a range of 14 kilometers. That's pretty advanced stuff. And their speed is 29.5. Alright, DDs, I want you guys to start heading towards the enemy. And start deploying your torpedoes. Unfortunately, the Rodney already took a pretty big hit. Oh, jeez. It already lost a secondary gun. That's fast. That is really fast. What I do really like, though, look at that. Those salvos right there. How long do these things take to reload? 38 seconds. Oh, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. And what are we firing at? The lead German? No, actually the trailing German ship. This is their lead ship. And it seems like they have some sort of weird formation because there's another ship over there. So maybe the Germans went with a 3-1 division-wise. Now it seems like we did a little bit of damage here, 132. But other than that, not much. Now, I think that at this range, I'm not that likely to actually get penetrations, so let's go for HE. Just try to overwhelm. And then when we get closer, that's when I'll try to do more damage with AP. I'm really curious to see how much armor these things actually carry. Well, at least we found the destroyers, that's for sure. Look at that. That volley. Nothing struck that ship. Nothing. We're firing 5 battleships, which all fire 8 guns, so that's 40 shells right here. Landing at or near that warship, which is as of yet unidentified. Look at that, though. So you're standing on your bridge, or you're manning a secondary gun, and you're looking up and you're going, oh shit. Oh shit. Now let's hope that it actually hits something. No. 40 shells, no hits. Accuracy of my own ships is 4% and dropping. And, well, I would like to fall back to cruise speed, actually. Just make it full speed, and maybe that's going to improve my accuracy a little bit. Rodney has still taken a bit of damage, but overall seems to be doing alright. So your range was what, 14, right? Yeah. The Germans are definitely changing formation and are pushing in. Now my plan is to have these DDs come in from over here, and these DDs come in from over here. So we're going to have torpedoes coming in from this angle and torpedoes coming in from that angle, and hopefully catch all the German battleships between the torpedo salvos, while at the same time using the destroyers as a screening force to prevent any torpedoes from inflicting severe damage on my warships. Now at this point the German battleships are pretty much broadside on, which might make penetrations a bit easier, because my chances of ricochet are far, far less. Let's just hope that that theory stands up. Now I want all of you, my dear destroyers, to not launch any torpedoes unless I direct you to. Same goes for these guys, the Cricket, the Ruby, and the Urchin. No torpedoes unless otherwise directed. Whoops. Oh well. The Rodney is not happy with all the attention it's getting. Oh dear. There's more incoming. Damage to the secondary tower. German warships seem to be pretty accurate with their fire. Identification is 73%, 72, 73, and 71. Engage this ship. Oh, we found the DDs. Interesting. Alright, be advised. We're going to send out torpedoes. If I miss the destroyer, at least if I miss this destroyer, I might still hit something else. All of you, torpedo this warship. And then fall back. Okay, Cricket has launched. Ruby is still looking to get launches off, I guess. How big of a salvo do I have? What is that? 7, 8? It has 2, 4, so that's 8 torpedoes per salvo. Alright, now it's time to have that whole group disengage. Because I wouldn't be surprised that there are torpedoes already on the way. The Ruby has sent out, what was that, 1 group? I guess that's 1 salvo. Alright, the Tornado. The Tornado's 8 kilometers away from the Germans. I want you guys to engage that battleship. And I want you to send out torpedoes, if able. Sirdar, Lafori, and Greenfly. Are you still rotating your torpedo tubes? Yep. Torpedoes away. That should hopefully give the Germans something to worry about, other than fighting my battleships. Ah, we got identification. Oh, they're 13-inch guns. Oh, my bad. They're 13-inch guns. So they're actually smaller than mine. With dreadful accuracy. But then again, they're trying to fight the destroyer. 7-inch secondaries, or 7-inch casemates, 6-inch secondary, 4, 3, no, 4, 4, and 3. That's a lot of firepower. Few bulkheads, 24 knots, displacement 32,000 tons. Maybe the Germans are living up to the Naval Treaty. That would be interesting. Alright, Tornado and your whole formation turn around. It looks like the Cricket is not particularly happy. There's a torpedo launch from whatever destroyer that is. I need this group to start clearing away. Because right now, if it maintains course, it might get hit by torpedoes. Hopefully, these torpedoes over here, they're going to continue on and maybe hit the Markgraf over here. That would be a nice development. Alright, so what's my chance to pen? 59.6%. Ricochet chance low. But my battleships are, well, struggling to hit at 6.5%. This thing is firing back with 14% accuracy. Maybe the Germans did go with radar. So I guess it's going to be torpedoes and volume of fire. Those are probably the ones that, or the two factors rather, that will make or break this battle for me. How's the Rodney? Oh, Rodney is alright. There's a bunch of torpedoes coming in. Let's turn port and try to avoid. It's going to take quite a while for all of those battleships to start turning around. Alright, let's put it back on 2 times speed. I do like the look of these torpedoes here. The battleship probably would disagree with me on that. Markgraf currently has taken some damage, but nothing too seriously. And chance to ricochet is going up pretty much. Change fire to the Worth. Or However you're supposed to pronounce that. Is the Murkoff going to overshoot the turn? Yes. By the looks of it, it's going to eat 2 torpedoes. Right on the stern. There you go. 2 incidents of flooding. Now there were more torpedoes. And we already hit the Zaringer as well. So right now, it's the destroyers which are inflicting massive damage against the battleships. Because my battleships really haven't done that much. And I wouldn't be surprised if my battleships are now going to be on the receiving end of the torpedoes as well. There's a section here, which seems to be harmless. Oh, the damage control on the Cricket has done really excellent work. Sure enough, they had their funnel destroyed. They were on fire, but I believe they were also flooding, and they were able to pump out all the water. Well done to you guys. Alright, I need these guys, the destroyers, to keep flanking this group. Keep putting pressure on them, so that the battleships will either be forced to turn towards me or away from me. At any rate, they will not be able to bring all their guns to bear. That was a torpedo hit on the Worth. And the Zaringen... Well, that thing has taken severe damage. Both engines seem to be no longer fully functional. Battleships, I want you to finish off this ship over here. That's a whole lot less firepower to deal with. We also have the Carza Barbarossa, but that's something... Well, it's taken some damage, but it's not a priority right now. I want to sink a ship. These guys still have plenty of torpedoes. I don't like their range, though. They're currently sitting at 10 kilometers, so the battleships don't have to maneuver too much in order to just get away from these destroyers altogether. Or at least stay outside of torpedo range. Zaringen is taking some more damage. Well, still most of the British firepower is not too accurate. Yeah, about 10%. Nope. And some of my battleships have taken some damage, which is not going to help with accuracy, because it's going to lead to damage instability. Uh-oh. Torpedo launch detected, right there. Assumed target? Hard to say. I want all the battleships to come left. Make a port turn. Actually, I'm going to split them up. I'm going to have the Thunderer detach. I'm going to have the Rodney join the group with the Thunderer. Thunderer, I want you to come round. I want the other battleships to keep going. And hopefully this way we can avoid all the torpedoes. Zaringen just takes hit after hit, but most of it is not going through. Look at that, ricochet after ricochet. It looks almost like the Germans are trying to fall back. I'm in no mood to let these guys fall back. Range to target? 8.4. Range to the farthest ship is 11. Now I can do 30 knots. You guys can do 24, so I will catch you. You won't like it, but I will catch you. Can the other 3 destroyers please shield against any destroyers which are inbound? $15.8 kilometers. Yeah, that's going to be hard to catch. My ships currently are maneuvering slower than the enemy battleships. So I guess I'm going to have to go back to 26 knots, insofar as my fleet is still capable of doing that. And it seems like the DDs either are falling back or have been told to screen the battleships, which are, well, as far as I'm concerned, retreating. Distance 8 kilometers, 9 and 10, 3. They are fighting, my DDs. And I guess they're pecking away at the Zaringen. Although accuracy is debatable. Or, well, effectiveness rather. Auto-selection and auto-selection. I don't want those guys to start launching torpedoes at that ship, though. If anything, I want them to start going for the Worth. And then, hopefully, accidentally hitting the Markgraf because it happens to be in the way. Whoa, Tornado just took a massive beating. Engines are damaged. Rudder is damaged, although it's been repaired. And it's flooding and on fire. Penetration, 5.3% chance. Yeah, right. That's why all the DDs are firing HE at the enemy. Alright. Oh, shit. The Swallow is now also taking a beating. Listen up. Your target's right there. I want you to maintain course, and I want you to start sending torpedoes. Torpedoes away. Sirdar, if you have an angle, send out torpedoes. Although I wouldn't be surprised if at this point you cannot quite do it. Set a smokescreen and start turning away from the enemy. Because I might have brought my DDs in a little too close here. The British battleships seem to be doing alright. Thunderer is still making a push. Uh-oh. That's the Swallow who took a flooding hit. Range. 9 clicks. Oh, the Zaringen is trying to turn around? Why though? Hold up. That's torpedoes. Swallow is probably going to go down. I wouldn't be surprised if Sirdar is now the lead ship. Sirdar sent torpedoes. I still have the torpedoes on the Lafori and the Greenfly. Although I am running out. Where's that other salvo of torpedoes? Here. They're still on course towards the Markgraf and potentially the Worth if it's still there by that time. How far are these battleships? 16? I can't catch up to that. Thunderer and Rodney. Please tell me you guys can do something useful here. Also, there were supposedly 8 German destroyers. I can tell there's 2 here. But where are the others? Here and there, which I guess I'm not even supposed to know. But I do. There's my group of destroyers. Well, they're not terribly healthy, but they're alive. Okay, continue to shadow that group, because I think we've avoided most of the torpedoes for the moment. Markgraf is turning, and so is Worth. I think they have seen the torpedoes coming, and decided that maintaining course was not in their best interest. Which I can respect. Let's see. I think that these might be slowing down the group. Swallow, I want you to retreat. Tornado, I want you to retreat as well. Detach from the group. Retreat. I thought I sunk something? I guess that would be a destroyer. Sirdar, take your group and continue to harass / torpedo the enemy fleet. Thunderer. Oh, look at this. Zaringen. Looks to be flooding. They're fighting it. But this ship has already taken on a lot of water. Torpedo detected. Zaringen sinks. That is the first German battleship that slips beneath the waves. Now that torpedo was spotted around here. Assumed to be heading towards the retreating destroyers. Let's have the other 3 be my hope, mostly. Uh-oh. Thunderer just got hit by a torpedo. Well, I guess it's time to start testing that torpedo belt. And it's also a lesson that I need to change course more often. Hannibal victorious in Zeelandia. I'm trying to stay in range, but it's not easy. Try to get more damage on the Markgraf. Maybe we can get the engine damaged and it will slow down. Because at the moment it's going to be hard to catch that thing. Oh, it's doing 16 knots. It's not too bad. How am I for shells? 500. That'll be sufficient. Cricket, Ruby and Urchin. Maintain speed. There are all the German destroyers. Right there. And inside the smoke here. Well, at least they're accounted for. Whoa! That was... Yeah, that was a torpedo. I might have spotted those, I might not. But at least I lost the ship. Still, I traded 1 destroyer for a battleship. Which I think is a fair trade. Cricket, Ruby and Urchin, be advised there's torpedoes coming your way. Thunderer is trying to rejoin formation behind the Rodney. This is not going to be easy. How close are those ships? 10. Range? 13.7. Although at 10 you get an accuracy of 3.6%, so they're not actually trying that much. There's another torpedo salvo coming in from the V1. Oh dear. Oh dear. That's not looking good. Send out aggressive torpedoes. I don't... Oh, you lost all your torpedoes. / sent all of them out. Gotcha. Greenfly, once the Sirdar is clear, I want you to immediately launch torpedoes. Normal. Aggressive. Get those things into the water. Make the destroyers maneuver. Maybe a smokescreen can still save the Greenfly, but I think the Sirdar, it's too late. Oh shit, there's more torpedoes in the water. Hello, Greenfly. Ah, Greenfly has sent. Good. Cricket, Ruby and Urchin. You guys are too far behind. The Hannibal is now having to do its own fighting against the destroyers. Let's have this group change course a little bit. Because I would not be at all surprised if these destroyers are up to no good. Especially since they're reloaded with the torpedo tubes and they're ready to fire again. Fire set to the Markgraf. Thunderer and Rodney still appear to be in decent shape. It's mostly that they just cannot get close enough. Those German battleships are just too fast. What's the Rodney doing for speed? 23. This one's doing 23.7. The only ship which could be capable of intercepting the Kaiser is a destroyer. And I don't have a whole lot of those left. I mean, I still have the Greenfly, but it's down to 6 torpedoes. And the Sirdar is... well, it has its engine damaged. Alright, hold. So far, it feels like I have the Germans on the run. And I have not taken too much damage. I've been able to withdraw 2 DDs. And I've lost 1. Versus their losses of 1 destroyer and 1 battleship. So far I'm ahead. I wonder if that's going to stay that way. Good damage here on the Markgraf. How far away are the Thunder and the Rodney? Because they're coming in from 2 different angles. What is that torpedo launch? And who? Oh shit, there goes the green fly. What happened there to the green fly? Right. A DD 4-inch. No, that was not it. Green fly spotted the V8. Well, the green fly has basically been spotting everything. Green fly lost engines, or engines 1 damaged. It's on fire. So what happened there? Was it this? 1 DD 4-inch shell hits my DD and overpens for 66? It's hard to tell. Oh, it could be this. An overpen from the bow belt armor and the stern belt. From the 4-inch. Destroys the funnel, puts the ship on fire. And I think they also took quite a bit of flooding there. And something from the 4-inch, so that was a destroyer, it hits the DD mid-deck, doing 101. And the ship sinks about 9 seconds after. So I think that it just got overwhelmed by 4-inch firepower. Then again, that's not too hard because my destroyers have a whole, hold on to your horses, 0.2 inches of armor. 0.2 inches. Right. Let's just speed things along a little bit. We're still peppering the Worth and the Markgraf, but these things are refusing to sink. There goes the Sirdar. Which is not surprising, because this thing has already taken a lot of hits. And I actually thought that it would sink quite a while ago. Whoa, what are you guys doing? Oh. You're trying to switch formation. The Victorious is trying to become the 2nd ship, and the Hannibal is trying to become the 3rd ship. Zealandia, healthiest currently, is trying to take charge of the formation. Now, I'm taking the Markgraf apart piece by piece by piece. But it's going far slower than I would like. Let's see, maybe maneuver these ships a little bit in order to avoid further torpedo attacks. The V7 has launched torpedoes. I'm not sure at what, but if I were to place a bet, I'd say the Rodney or this group. Whoa, Hannibal, where are you going? Try to turn around, try to keep up. Oh good, flooding on the Markgraf again. There's another flooding hit. I think the belt arm on the ship has taken so many hits that now most of the shell fire is going to go right through. Engine and rudder are damaged. The ship has a couple of really big holes on it. .47 there. Come on, finish this thing off. Because I think that after I sink the Markgraf and the Worth, I'm calling it a day. Because that other battleship, I don't even know where it is anymore. It's somewhere over there. But I couldn't tell you how far away it is. No idea. All ships, focus fire. Work on taking out the Markov. The 7-inch from the Rodney is now also joining the attack. Oh, Thunder is lagging behind. Damaged engine. That seems to happen a lot with these ships. The engine's getting damaged. There was a torpedo spotted here. Right. Guys, why are you firing on the Worth? I want you to hit the Markov. My DDs. Let's just have them chase the battleship because they're constantly going all over the place. Ooh, look at that. Good hit. Conning tower damaged. Funnel destroyed. Fire set. That should reduce accuracy on these warships quite a bit. So far I'm seeing a lot of shells flying in on the Markov, but nothing too severe. And seemingly it still has all the turrets as well. Or, no, actually it lost the A turret. Look at that, everything just bounces off. That's the Zealandia group. What's my chance to pen? $26. Oh. They're still blasting with AP. We get throwing HE out. AP. Most of the armor on that ship has been cracked. So I think HE at this point could just push it right over the edge. Rodney, same deal for you. HE it is. Markov has taken severe damage, is now flooding in multiple locations thanks to several big hits from what I think is the Zealandia or any of its other groups, other sister ships. More fire set. Structural integrity is down to 12%. Floatability 939. Hold on. Which of you has taken initiative to switch fire? I gave no such order. We're here to sink the Markgraf, seal its fate first. And we'll deal with the other ones after. Because this is still a couple of 13-inch guns that I can very easily knock out. This one is a whole different story. So don't you go deciding that you suddenly want to start shooting the Worth, because the Markov is still alive. Although that situation seems to be changing relatively quickly. Fires in at least 5 segments. Oof. I wouldn't want to be on board that ship right now. Oh, the battleships are... Accidentally, mostly, I have rejoined formation from the Rodney and the Zealandia. And their accuracy is now 69% because they're fighting at a range of 4 kilometers, a little under 5. What I have not seen any further trace of are the German destroyers. So I'm thinking that they might be out of torpedoes and might have been given the order by the AI to just retreat. More flooding, more fire set. Don't worry, buddy, I'll get you. It's just going to take a little while. I'm going to start changing course. Follow the Worth, and in the meanwhile maintain fire on the Markgraf. Penetration chances are going up pretty good, pretty nice. Once they're up, let's say above 50, 60, I'm going to go back to AP if there's still a ship left at that point. Which I rather doubt, considering the amount of fires. That's all going to eat into your structural integrity. Come on. That would be the second German battleship that goes down. There you go. The Markgraf is no more. Alright, we're switching back to AP. Try and crack the armor on the Worth. And hopefully intercept it before my ships succumb to further torpedo attacks. You gentlemen over here. Hannibal, Victorious, Zeelandia, pursuit course. I'm trying to destroy as much of the casemate as possible. As much of the belt armor as I can. The more sections go red, the better for me. Because then I have a better chance at setting fires. And it seems like both of the bow turrets are currently inoperable because they are in a bad position. Oh, now this one's utmost inoperable. Turret destroyed. DDs? Hello? That way, please. Oh, hello. Whoa, he's far away. 24 kilometers. The AI always does this. Whenever they have a ship that has taken virtually no damage, but it seems like they're trying to, or that they're about to lose the battle, they go, okay, let's withdraw the healthiest ship. Whereas I'm trying to withdraw the ships that have taken severe battle damage, like the Tornado and the Swale, before those guys go down. What way is the Worth turning? Are they turning starboard? Speed? 16 knots. Speed on my own ships? 22, 16, 24, 22, and 15. Zeelandia is still in the lead. And the Hannibal's mostly lagging behind, not really capable of doing much. Destroyed funnel. That might slow it down a little bit more. Or, at the very least, it's going to reduce engine efficiency. The DDs have arrived, but at a pretty shitty time. Because they're not really where I would want them to be. I would ideally have them on the inside of the battleships, but I don't really want to sail through the formation of the Zeelandia. Well, formation might be might be a bit rich. It's mostly a ragtag band of ships at this point. The Zeelandia and the Victorious are still fairly well in formation, and then somewhere far over the horizon you have the Thunderer. Over here we have the Rodney. Oh, sorry, no, it's the other ship. It's the Hannibal. The Hannibal's part of the formation of the Victorious and the Zeelandia. But the Hannibal might need a tow. It's only doing 15 knots currently. The Worth is definitely trying to steer starboard. Speed? Still 16. Huh. Yeah, penetration chance is really bad. Destroyed main gun. Oh, you knocked out the second turret. Yep, the A and the B turret, both offline. I have not exactly defanged this battleship yet, but we're well on our way to doing that. So once again, it seems to be Britannia rule the waves, as they are definitely kicking the Germans' ass at the moment. Now, if you have a good scenario for the next video. By all means, let me know down below in the comment section. Comment with the most upvotes gets the battle, so that's the one I'm going to pick. Let me know what sort of nation versus what nation it's going to be. Do I get to design a ship? Does the AI get to design the ships? What sort of classes would you like? We have the battleship and the battle cruiser, heavy cruiser, light cruiser, destroyer, and if you are in a fairly early time period, you also get torpedo boats. The later you get, it seems like there are just no torpedo boats. Like they're no longer a thing. So let me know down below in the comment section. And if you like, or if you see a battle description that you think, oh, that would make a really good video, that's something I want to see, hit that like button on that comment. And that, again, will raise the visibility. Now, I think it might be time for the Ruby to torpedo. Range 3.7. You made torpedo when ready. Torpedoes are away. Although that's not a lot of torpedoes. Did you lose a launcher? Let's hope that the torpedoes can take care of this ship now. Because gun-wise, it's taking its sweet time, and I'm running out of firepower here. Switch to HE on all ships. Save the DDs, but they're probably going to be sending out, well, initially torpedoes, but also just HE shells. There you go. Now we're getting somewhere. It might have seen... Oh, speaking of, it might have seen the torpedoes coming and thought, now would be a really good time to start changing course. Which I wouldn't really blame it for. There you go. Now the worth is going down. Or worth? I don't know how I'm supposed to pronounce that. Goodbye. This is GG for you, sir. So, conclusion of this battle, I'd say the British won the battle. The Germans had a tech advantage of 4 years, but I'm not even sure if they used that tech advantage. It seems like they might not have fully exploited the advantage that they got. Radar, better rangefinders, better guns, bigger ships. I'm not sure why they didn't go for the biggest ships with the biggest guns. Because, well, more often than not, that does seem to work. But this time around, well, I guess they went with something else. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked the video. I hope you liked the fight. Let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comments. And if you have a good video idea, let me know as well. The more upvotes you get, the more chances you get for having your idea actually become the next video. Have a good day, and I'll catch you soon for more vids.